budget, y'all. That's why I'm doing these bags by head.
All right, boom.
I was telling Ted before, are you familiar with, it's pine mulch, so it's not stuff you would use anyplace because it rots away real fast, but it helps hold the moisture in the ground. So that's what they got this delivered, donated from landscaping company. The pine mulch. Yeah. And so everything they're planting in here is woody shrubs and a mixture of plants that grow on the edge of the forest. Obviously it's shaded half the day, but this should fill in, and then especially. But Antonia, she met him somewhere at a KIB thing, and she's like, you need to know, because before anything happened here, he lives up the river a little bit. He would walk his dog here every day and go back. Then he saw things happening. Then he knew she was with Belmont Beach. He asked a question. Now he's like, on all those other places, this is where I walk my dog. She's like all in now. He's like out of control.
I'm talking about 5 days a week.
Oh yeah, you go by, he's out here. He'll be digging in the dirt.
I come and take my Zoom meetings by the river.
Right.
He come up. Sometimes he brings his dog with him.
Yeah, he's almost always got his dog's pretty old. Yep.
Look at red Jeep if you ever out here red and see a guy.
Yeah, a little red SUV. But the Indiana Native Plant Society, then he kind of sucked the rest of them in a little bit. A woman named Brooke, she wants to offer up a native plant thing. And so now you can see the different types of, if you're on the edge of the woods, this is what you plant.
Yeah.
That thing on the mound, completely different plants. Because it's full sun, it's out in the open.
Right.
But everybody has, if you have a backyard, you have a space where you can do something. If you wanted to and you don't know much about it. It's not that hard to get going. They're going to do another technique past the portlets on the right. They're going to lay down a tarp.
Up the hill or just right along
right
the trail?
Right on the base of the concrete. It'd be 20 feet long, or 20 feet wide and 150 feet long. They're going to lay down this tarp and it will kill everything just with the heat and the sun. So then now you're not using herbicide.
Right.
You just lay it down, you leave it. You just got to be patient. You got to be patient enough to wait till the fall.
That'll knock it out.
Yeah. This was the gift that was in North Suba. There's a whole grove. And you familiar with the fruit? The flower, right? Yeah, like there's some green ones now showing.
Where?
They don't stand out yet. See this right here on the end of it? See it? Yeah, right there. Yeah. But they're beautiful. Red, reddish.
They're really
pretty.
Oh, I see. I used to think everything that was green and red was poison ivy. Or green and that pink.
Well, if you don't know, that's a good way to go,
Like,
because then you know, because there is a
always
poison
thought.
sumac, but this is not it.
Okay. So growing up, like being
And
at the park.
look at the view now.
That view looks so
Isn't it awesome?
You never would
Now
have known.
we'll finish cleaning stumps and stuff.
Yeah.
But it looks like a plant that should be like in Costa Rica or something. Like it doesn't look like it should be here, but it's but that's a nice little. Now you got a teacher, you know, kind of like that. There's a couple they didn't get in the ground, but he'll be back. He'll stick them in the ground.
Yep. This is good proof that people are down here doing the work.
Yeah. I was like, are you filming?
Yeah.
Wow.
We had this sign left over from some road committee thing somewhere, so we kind of stuck that in there. I think they're going to, the Indiana Native Plant Society, there's a new program, national, to promote people to do backyard native plants. So they want to do a little clinic out here, then they can show you the different things you can do. Open space, edge of the woods, back corner of your yard. And then this, they want to put Belmont Beach on there's like a national registry to put.
Oh yeah.
Well, they'll get some signage too, but they want to feature Belmont Beach for what they're doing in Indy. Didn't think that would be problematic. Go ahead, blow the horn or whatever.
Make it happen.
And then there's some stuff. There's a bunch of stuff flowering here. We started here first. Some of it looks a little wimpy because they just put it in the ground the other day. But you get this corner isn't meant to grow up and be pretty shrubby. They go with this stuff. Keep it open. So it'll stay open, but it's still a 50-50 shade kind of thing. Yeah, there's Virginia bluebell back there, foxglove. We're gonna make them a hot compost bin right here. Some old pallets. So they'll put the vegetative stuff in there, and then they can reuse that.
I always think this is a unique space.
Oh, that iris.
When I bring somebody to the space, Coach.
Careful now! Don't step on one of his babies.
I'm not. We don't need to get close to that. But when I bring people to the space, this is one of my unique locations, right? Like, this is one of my. I bet you can believe this is here.
Right.
Space.
Like, you have so much in India.
We did not talk about the boat ramp and
we kept the trail open that people have worn through here. Oh, we don't need to disturb the peace down there. Someone's enjoying the peace and quiet. But I like how you can see it now through here a little bit. And the sandbar's just coming back out. Every time it rains, of course, there's...
Yeah, it was hot the other day. I came out here about a week ago.
Yeah, it was up again.
You couldn't see the concrete. Yeah, that concrete, you couldn't see. You ever walk down there? It's good. You can picture. You can see the bridge straight through. Yeah,
and they put a bunch of different things in here that again are things that are like full shade.
A lot of that stuff should grow, like get some height.
Yeah, the one in the open up there, like the tallest ones are in the back. Those are elderberry right there. Speaking of foraging.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, those are elderberry in the corner. But that'll stay open, but stuff to be like waist high at the most.
Okay.
And kind of ground cover and flower, lots of different flowers.
It'll be eye candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that one, all of this will all be stuff that will eventually grow up, and then there'll be flowers along the edge, but grow up and keep the honeysuckle out.
Okay. It's a good view. Especially if you go down that bridge.
We always check when we come in on our checklist, we always check the 2 warning signs for the dam. The one straight across, we put that one in too.
Okay.
There's supposed to be one there, but they have probably.
Yeah, see that was covered up the other day.
That water, it comes up. Yeah.
But it's the water usually lower than this though. Like you can creep out there and look. This is one of my go-tos. Like, I always well, if somebody never came and they want to get close to the river and been that way, I'm like, this is a relaxing area, and I know the rescue team use this.
This is on the IFD water rescue side, so they know they can take that inflatable boat with a motor and run down here and throw it in and go.
Also, this is I know you like to take pictures and stuff, but another way I use it is
there's a path all along here when it's down.
Yeah, when the water's a little lower, so you can walk, see close, you see the birds.
They get up on, because I've been seeing them perch over here and here, but I usually lay down there.
We'll end up.
Some good pictures right here.
We cut a hole in the bottom right here, and we're going to go in and cut all this honeysuckle as it falls down. Then all the stuff up there will be able to come down. And you know me, with people who are like pay money to mulch stuff and take it away and all that kind of stuff. Like, no. Critter condo. You got to give a place for the little things to hide.
Critter condo.
Yeah. All the little things feed the bigger things. Circle of life. Yes, and my daughter, bless her heart, I think she was 5 or 6 years old, but I just say stuff all the time, whatever. There was something, Hawk was eating something like tearing it apart, gulping it down or something like that. Or there was something. Yeah. And she's like, everybody's got to eat. I'm like, she understands the circle of life.
Everybody has to eat.
Everybody's like, oh, nature. Yeah, it's also deadly. But
I thought it was going up
but yeah, we'll cut that down, and that stuff will all come down, and we'll be able to throw it out. So it'll be out of sight, but it'll also give cover in there. There's some elderberry right in here that's growing wild. There's all kinds of it. The other one that we need to pursue, that I need a human being who's passionate about hard cider. We forage. With me so far? So when the mulberries are ripe, we pick some mulberries, bags, throw them in the freezer.
Yeah.
Then, what's next? There's something ripe constantly all the way into the fall that grows up and down through here. So, hackberry, mulberry, wild black raspberry, wild grape, persimmon, pawpaw, all grows here. You just keep bagging it and freezing it, then all that fruit goes in, and ash and elm will make a micro bench. It could be a highbrow like honey bench, because each year would be different. Each year would be different.
That's what I was like, what are we gonna,
so you have to sign up in forage. You make the agreement, but later you get to then come kind of dressed up or whatever and have a tasting.
And then have the tasting.
Yeah.
So we can have the whole process. You can be a forager.
Forage, learn about
then
that.
You learn about it, and then you come back.
And it actually gets forage. Then you got it. Then they've done it 3 times. They've made a micro batch. I know the son. He didn't work in the business. He's a lunatic bird watcher.
What's the process?
No. I mean, which is redundant, right? Because bird watching, when you get into it, you're already lunatic. If you want to see a toucan in its native environment, he will do the whole vacation and goes with you and finds the toucan, and you get that. Yeah.
We might need this.
Wesley. But anyway, 3 times because his family does that.
Yeah.
He's like, oh no, I've always wanted to. And I'm like, there's pawpaw right here. We were in some like 10 years ago somewhere, and he's like, what do you mean there's pawpaw downtown? And I'm like, well, there's one in my backyard at the rental house. And it was hanging. So we go over there, and he's like, do you think we could? So we foraged with stuff 3 times, and all the time he's like, whenever there's a break, then they'd make it. It's not for the public. They can't do that. So he sent me a text. Oh, they just made the batch. Can you make it? And I never could make it. And the 3rd time he felt so bad, he had him can some.
So you gonna get this?
So he brought some to me. But I was like, it's okay. I'm like, it's okay, Wes. It's okay.
I would love to do all 3 processes. Let's drink it.
And like have it be like a.
And you could do you could be pre-holiday, like.
Because how long from
the weekend after Thanksgiving?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? When everything kind of becomes.
Like it's from forward. Because when would we forage? And then when do you
the
think
forage
the
can
first
start as soon as June.
Okay.
And you'd have different outings.
Right.
You'd be, foraging this week, and we're getting X.
Okay.
And Y and Z.
If we plan that right, I think we could make this a big thing.
That could also be like some off days too, right? Like it don't have to be on the calendar days that we got. That could be a Tuesday, Thursday.
And
the
thing about foraging in the wild is just because you had wild grape hanging on the vines behind the portlets last year, which you did, that's not how nature works. It's not a commercial crop. Like it's not the same next year.
Right.
You got to pay attention. It's a little farther down or a little farther up. Each year there's more of this, less of that.
That's a new way for all of us to learn too, like in a good way, like nature, how to do this. So I think that'd be a good thing for the Friends of Belmont Beach just in general. Part of our program,
we got
fundraising,
all kinds of edible food,
and utilizing the space on what's already here.
Yeah,
right.
Well, I'm glad we took it.
Foraging, and maybe you think that would be a nice look to collaborate publicly with Ash and Elm on that, and like maybe cross promote it? What do you think?
Because I can go through Wes and see if we can make the. No. They did Ash and Elm. He, because of his bird thing, he twice in the Urban Wilderness Trail, so on the River Trail thing where I was involved, he had outings where they rented the bus, and then they were stopping and bird watching.
I think I was saying,
so
I
they were
said
drinking.
No in a good way. I think this would give us an avenue to show how we can use community and businesses to do partnership, right? Because who doesn't celebrate? And if anybody ever judges about the cocktail or whatever they serve, it's showing you how to celebrate what your community provides by their blah. And I'm sure that company has some things they don't want to try on. So I think it would be great. Like us in the grassroots.
That's what I was just like.
Yeah, it's just ladies first. So yeah, we utilize those networks, especially we bringing something to them.
We cut this honeysuckle out about 2 years ago, put this sign up. Look at all that. Look at the medicinal growing in here. You know what that is?
No.
Bone set.
What?
But bone set, Native Americans used it to literally, like if you broke a bone, like you would drink the tea, you'd use the leaves as a compress and set your leg for the bone to heal, but you would drink the tea leaves. But there's a bunch of stuff in here. Once it's open, stuff starts growing. Yeah.
Dang, I'm quiet.
Yeah, we did that one last year. Second year.
Pawpaw, we have grapes, we have
wild black raspberry,
wild black
raspberry.
Actually,
elderberry.
Yo,
Flavors on them.
Yeah. Raspberry and
Persimmon, elderberry.
Yeah, come on. I ain't got nothing more. We about, let me call you in about 5 minutes.
Probably something else,
I'm
but I
recording.
see. When I grew up in the woods, you always paid attention to how crops were in various places because when you were hunting in the fall and hunting culture, you would know where there's food, that's where the critter you're looking for goes. So you would just log it as you would see it in your head every picking.
So we gonna forage.
And there's mulberry. There's a little branch sticking out, a little teeny tiny.
right there.
That doesn't amount to much, but that is a mulberry.
They're across the street too.
Yeah, they're all over.
So that's where they came this year.
This will be this year's hot spot.
Yep.
You ready?
Right.
This is falling when it goes to seed.
When it goes, oh yeah.
And it's a plant that the first year grows on the ground base, and then the second year it sends up the stalk. So that's what it's up. So it's always, and it grows in poor soil, like it's just everywhere.
And it's crazy with this right here. You don't even know.
Right. But I just think, we mowed this out.
It's good.
Boom, boom, boom. Then if you go around that and wade through that and fall off there, that's on you. But somebody, and I know that since Desi looked at that with the city,
I remember.
and I know that they were like, well, we got to put up a guardrail. We got to do something. You know what I mean? We got to do something. And they're moving at the speed of doing something for the city. Bless their heart. Could somebody just do something?
I remember when the big cut, well, for them, that big cut over here came in.
Yeah, these things get huge. It's about spectacular shade. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna walk through the middle so I can get both.
There you go. Oh yeah, you can sample on both sides.
Yep.
Cactus has got flower buds. Yeah, there's buds on there. There's probably 20, 30 flowers. Yeah. Flowers down there, some foxglove or something. Yeah. And some mint. That's a mint that's flowering right there.
Right here?
Yeah.
What about this red one?
I don't know the name of that red one, but it's Indiana native wildflower.
This is gonna be one that stands out. Watch.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have James out here on that.